This is the southern tip of Ullswater down by Glenridding, and today it looks like I'm going to be doing a bit more embracing the grey. So there you go, I tipped up to the edge of a lake, taken a photo, and now it's time for me to head home. Well, not this week. This week things are going to be a little bit different. Let me introduce to you my mate Alan Metalman. Now, Alan is a fellow vlogger and YouTuber, but he's not a photographer. He has an excellent hiking and wild camping channel. And this video is a little bit of a thank you to Alan because he's been my longest subscriber right back in the days when I had just a handful of subscribers. So Alan, what are we up to today, mate?
Well, I got an invite from Chris just before Christmas to come up to Lake District. We're parked down at Glenridding and we're going to have a wander up to Glenridding Dodd and Sheffield Pike. Should be a good day.
Should be, and we better crack on because we've got a bit of a climb ahead of us.
You said, let me tell you everything I've seen, the friends I've made, and then you tell me how you've been. Look a little closer, it's been quite some time. You gotta let me know if I'm out of line.
So when you climb up to Glenridding Dodd from Glenridding, you reach this kind of plateau, and the hike to this point is pretty steep, it's pretty hard going. And now we're going to head up to Glenridding Dodd, which is just to my left, and behind me is Sheffield Pike, where we're ultimately going to end up.
But there's some words that I just want to hear you say, all straight before this night turns into day, and then I'm on my way. Yeah. Yes, I'm on my way.
So we just reached the summit of Glenridding Dodd, and we went past the summit and have come to some of these lower points because you get much better views of Ullswater. And I've got this gorgeous view as Ullswater stretches out before me and goes round the corner past Silver Bay and Place Fell and back down to Pooley Bridge.
A bit naive and so eager to please. You know I played for love, but it got me on my knees. Now's the time to reap what I've sown. Your words echoing in every single bone.
So we're just about done at Glenridding Dodd, and we've had a quick chat and we've decided to press on to Sheffield Pike before we stop for lunch. I think we're going to have to take it steady because there's quite a bit of snow on the summit of Sheffield Pike, so we'll just have to see how we get on.
Yes, I'm on my way. This pain is not of the ordinary. Every time that I breathe, I can feel your worry. So I have to take my love.
So we walked down from Glenridding Dodd and we headed off with the intention of climbing up to Sheffield Pike. But then when we got there, there's a lot of snow on it, and the little bits of snow that we've had to walk over have been quite slippery. And I don't really fancy it much. My boots aren't particularly brilliant, and I'm carrying a lot of weight, and you can vouch for that.
Definitely. And since he was also carrying my backpack as well, it didn't help matters.
So we've had a bit of lunch, and we are perched on a ledge, I suppose, overlooking Ullswater, looking back towards Glenridding Dodd. It's very pleasant. We've had a bit of rain, some passing showers and all that kind of stuff. But it's given us a bit of a chance for a chat. So Alan, I wanted to ask you, what is it about the Lake District that has you coming back time after time?
Well, you're not the first person to ask us that, Chris, because a few people say, why do you keep coming over here? But for me, you just got to sit here and just look about you, do a 360 about you, The views are spectacular, and no matter how long I sit, I just can't get enough of these views. And one other thing it gives me freedom. I feel completely free when I'm up in the lakes. Sometimes I can walk for hours and not see a soul. And despite being a very sociable person, it's nice. It's really nice, and that, like, you know. So views, scenery, freedom, challenging myself, all them things put together equals the Lake District for me.
So I think that you make a good point there when we talk about challenges, and I've kind of got this theory. You will watch me week in, week out, and I drive to the edge of a lake and I take a picture and then I go home. And I'm starting to think that I need to be a bit more adventurous in my photography. I think I need to get up into the mountains a bit more, and that's going to be my intention over the coming weeks. I'm starting to think that in order to be a better landscape photographer, I need to live a bit more of an interesting life. And that's not just driving up to the edge of a lake, that is climbing up into places like this and taking in these views.
Yeah.
When I asked Alan if he fancied heading out for a walk in the hills together, he said he would, but on one condition, and that was that we did a selfie together. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. So we decided not to head back via Glencoyne in the end. Instead, we've come back the way we came, and we're just preparing to make our final descent. So while we're doing that, here are my favourite shots that you guys have posted to Instagram this week. So remember, if you want your photographs to feature in future videos, post them up to Instagram using the hashtag ChrisSalePhoto. And if you've got any questions for me that you'd like me to answer in these videos, tweet me at ChrisSalePhoto.
I'm on my way.
Right, so that's us down. We're nearly at Glenridding. All that's left for me to say, thanks ever so much, Alan, for a great day, and thank you ever so much for the support that you've given my channel over the last 8 months.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So when are you next back in the lakes, mate?
A week on Friday. I'm here for 3 nights at the Thanet Well Lodge, and then 4 days at Centre Park. So I'll get a few walks in, a few hikes in, a bit of filming done as well.
Lovely. And next week I've got fellow YouTube photographer Andrew Maguire coming up and staying, and we're going to be going out and looking for some iconic Lake District views, so keep an eye out for that.
Heavy road, go easy on me now, and my love will shine.